Hi, and thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this final video in our four-part series. My name is Tony Johnson with Aternity. I'm the Federal Sales Manager for the Department of Defense. In this demo, we're going to focus on how Aternity can help you establish and manage your SLAs. Many organizations want to do SLA management at the application level, but there are some inherent problems. First, they don't have data by which they can set appropriate SLAs. How do you set an SLA if you don't know what normal performance is for that particular application, let alone any function within that application? You might try having robots accessing your applications, which gives you information about system availability, but provides nothing related to real end-user application performance. Or you could do a handful of stopwatch testing, but that's ultimately going to lack real statistical relevance for performance across your entire enterprise. Or, and this is the most common method we hear about, you can just take a guess and agree on a number that sounds reasonable but has no quantifiable performance data to back it up. Some of you watching this right now might be smiling to yourself because you know this is what happens in the real world the vast majority of the time. There's one other very important concern for those of you who have applications being delivered by a third-party integrator or vendors via a SaaS model. Guess who's measuring performance SLAs for those applications? The same integrators and vendors that are responsible for delivering them up. How often do you think they're freely going to admit to having an SLA performance issue? Aternity solves this problem. We can monitor every single instance of your users for all functions within any of your applications. This allows the system to automatically generate real, quantifiable baselines for SLA performance. You can use these baselines as your SLAs or SLOs, or even overlay your own baselines if you want to give yourself a little bit of extra performance margin. The bottom line is, you now have real quantifiable data to base your SLAs on. And by the way, the system can even break those SLAs down by location, department, desktop type, subnet address, and more. The second problem that Aternity solves is that once you determine your baselines and you set your SLAs accordingly, you now have the ability to track and alert when those SLAs are breached. Most organizations have no way of doing that. Again, Aternity is going to monitor every single instance of a function for every single user and will alert you when your SLAs are being breached. In addition to that, we can also show you the lost productivity of users while waiting on applications and their individual functions to respond. In the productivity dashboard, we can assign a value based on your actual cost per hour for users, and the system will automatically calculate your lost productivity related to your users waiting on applications to respond so they can continue to do their jobs. For example, in this case, the home page of the My Portal application, which is taking 31 seconds for the screen to render, we're capturing every instance of every single user experiencing that slow render time, allowing us to calculate their loss in productivity. Now, the SLA and productivity dashboards provide snapshots in time, but what Aternity also has the ability to do is compare the performance resulting from any changes you've made to your infrastructure or your applications. Basically, a before and after comparison of your performance. Aternity is going to help you understand whether or not the changes that you make are improving application response time, having no effect, or if those changes are negatively impacting your SLAs and productivity. So in this particular case, if you were hoping to improve the performance of this application, Aternity would be able to show you empirically that the changes you made actually improved performance, had no effect on performance, or perhaps even made performance worse. We can do this same type of comparison for technology refreshes where perhaps you're upgrading machines from Windows XP to Windows 7 or Windows 7 to Windows 8. You need to be able to see the impact on performance to help justify the ROI for the technology refresh itself. Or perhaps you're going from one manufacturer and configuration to another. One of the best use cases we see for this is around VDI initiatives, where we're taking applications off the user's desktop and virtualizing them. Organizations do this because it makes management of those applications easier, but they need to make sure those applications perform in the new environment at least as well or maybe even better than they did before. Aternity can do exactly that, showing you the before and after performance. This not only helps organizations understand how the applications they virtualized are performing now as opposed to before, but it also helps organizations when users call complaining about performance. We all know users don't like change, and if you pull something off an end user's desktop, you will have some users that are going to be unhappy and you're going to get complaints. We could continue examining the before and after and SLA use cases, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of the power of the Aternity solution. There are a number of additional use cases that we'll be highlighting in future videos. You may be wondering where Aternity is being used within the Department of Defense and civilian federal agencies. Over the last 24 months, Aternity has been deployed by some of the largest agencies within the DoD, including the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the U.S. Army Information Technology Agency, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the U.S. Air Force. On the civilian side, our largest and most significant deployment is with the Department of Veterans Affairs. We're helping those agencies solve exactly the same type of problems that you've seen addressed by Aternity in this video series. If your agency is facing similar application challenges, pick up the phone and give me a call or drop me an email, and I'd be happy to arrange a personalized demonstration for you and your team. Thank you again for your time and attention in watching this video series, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a great day.